Welcome. I am so excited to have you here on today's training. You are absolutely in the right place if you want to learn how to go from party trick to trusted tarot advisor. Because in today's webinar, I'll be showing you the 5 steps to nail every reading every time, even if you're reading for a total skeptic. And if you're ready to take your tarot readings to the next level and fully step into becoming a trusted tarot advisor, then I have something really special for you. So make sure you stick around. Now, make sure that you've got a pen and paper handy for today's training, and also make sure you download the workbook that I emailed through to you. You can get that over at biddytarot.com/trusted-advisor-workbook. Now, I've created this bonus workbook so that you can get the most value out of today's training, and also to help you keep on track as we go through all of this juicy goodness. Now, before we get started with today's training, make sure you turn off all distractions, whether it's your phone, messenger, social media, or any other web page that you might have open. I've got loads of juicy information for you today, and I really don't want you to miss a thing. So here's the thing, if you promise me you'll stay focused on this training for the next 60 minutes, then I promise to make it worth every minute of your time. But if you multitask throughout this training, then you're going to miss out on the important lessons that I have to share with you today. So please stay with me, and I promise to make it worth your while. Now, I also want to let you know that Kim, Laura, and Kirsty from the Biddy Tarot team are on standby to answer your questions throughout today's training. You simply need to type your question into the text chat on the webinar, and we will respond to you privately. I'll also be jumping back on the video at the end of this training to answer your questions here on the live webinar. And if something comes up after you've been watching the webinar, don't worry, we've got you covered. All you need to do is email us at team@biddytarot.com. So ask us during the live training any questions in the chat, and we can help you that way. Or if anything comes up, then just email us over at team@biddytarot.com. All right, are you ready to have some fun? I am, definitely. All right, so I want to start by telling you the story of 2 tarot card readers. So let's picture reader A, looking a little bit like this gypsy lady. So she's in the back room at a party. She's got her tarot reading cloth laid out, and she's got the tarot cards in front of her. It's a huge line out the door. And everyone's asking questions like, will I hook up with someone tonight? Or when am I going to meet the love of my life? They get the answer that they came for, and then they leave quickly, but forgetting all about what that reader said. Nothing changes, and they go back to their life as normal. Now picture reader B. She studied the tarot card meanings, and she's learned everything she can about how to do a tarot reading. But she didn't stop there. She practiced reading for others by offering free readings in exchange for feedback, and she learned how to connect intuitively with the tarot and create powerful and memorable experiences for the people she read for. Her clients pay her hundreds of dollars for a reading, and most importantly, they're feeling like they're getting their money's worth, and then some, because their reading has powerfully changed the course of their lives for the better. Her clients have been able to take the information from the reading and use it to make better decisions, live more inspired lives, and really manifest their goals and their dreams. For example, one female client of this reader, she left a career of 20 years to follow her dreams as an energy healer. And one man turned his life around and finally attracted the ideal partner for him, all because of a powerful tarot reading with this one reader. And the best thing, these tarot readings are so powerful that even several years later, these people are still talking about how the reading changed the course of their lives. Now, the truth is, I have actually been both of these readers, the party trick tarot reader and the trusted tarot advisor. So, what made the difference? Now, I want to focus on the 3 main problems with being a party trick tarot reader. And I want you to write these down in your workbook. So number 1, you're not taken seriously. Got it? Good. All right. So number 2, you have little or no impact on the other person. So write that down. You have little or no impact on the other person. And thing number 3 is they're probably not going to take action on what you're going to say. So they're not going to take action on what you're going to say. And look, that's fine if that's your goal. And maybe there are some of you on this call who are perfectly happy reading tarot like a party trick. But for those of you who can see that there's more to tarot than just a fun party trick, I'm here to validate your gut instinct that there really is something magical that can happen when you read tarot for someone as a trusted advisor. And you know that with the help of your tarot cards, you're actually creating the opportunity and the possibility for that person to have a life-changing conversation with you and to transform their life for the better. And that is powerful stuff. So I want you to write this down in your workbook again. So being a trusted tarot advisor, it means that you help the people who you read for to create a life that they truly want. So you help them create what they truly want in life. Thing number 2 is you help them make decisions that they might have been putting off. You know, those really hard, complex decisions and you just don't know which path to take or which way to turn. Being a trusted tarot advisor means that you help people navigate their way through those difficult decisions. And thing number 3 is you help them see the possibility of a new path. And this new path is usually one that's in full alignment with who they really are and what they most want to manifest in this lifetime. And that's really the power of being a trusted tarot advisor. And it's something that is totally within your reach when you read tarot for other people. The way that I look at it is this: when someone's asking you for a reading, their lives are typically going along a certain path. Now, for many people, they're living by default. They're not consciously creating their lives. They're just taking it for what it is, including the good and the bad. If they keep on that path, it's just going to stay the same for the rest of their lives. But as a trusted tarot advisor, when you lay out the tarot cards and translate the messages, you're able to show your clients what different paths are available to them, and then how to make conscious choices about which path to choose. And ultimately, you're able to help your client create the lives that they truly want to live. And that is super, super powerful. However, that level of conversation between you and someone you read for can only happen if they take it seriously. And that can only happen if you take it seriously. Right, so before we move on, let's have a quick chat about what tarot is and isn't. The way that I look at it, the tarot cards are really just ink on paper. It doesn't have to be all supernatural and out there and woo-woo, and you don't have to be super psychic to figure out what the cards are saying. In fact, I really believe that anyone can read tarot, including you. And of course, if you want tarot to be supernatural and woo-woo and out there, you can totally make it that way, and it's completely up to you. That's the beauty of tarot. But make no mistake, whichever approach you choose, there is the opportunity and the possibility to have that powerful, life-changing conversation every time you do a tarot reading for someone, even if they're a total skeptic. All right, so I want to just invite you to check in right now and be really honest with yourself. How do you approach and deliver your tarot card readings right now? Now, on page 4 of your workbook, put a star whether you feel your readings are closer to the style of a party trick tarot reader or more like a powerful conversation with a trusted advisor. Wherever you are, just know that it's okay. One's not better than the other. It's just about being consciously aware of where you're sitting right now. Okay, have you got it? Good. Now, next thing. Once you've done that, I want you to take a really deep, grounding breath. That's it. Now just clear your mind. Beautiful. And ask yourself, how do you want your tarot readings to be? Do you want them to be more like a party trick, or more of that powerful conversation that has the ability to really change people's lives for the better? And in your workbook, put a star where you want to be. And I'd love for you to share your responses in the chat, and I'll read some of them out, okay? All right, so let's have a look at this chat. Let me see. Okay, so Angie's saying, I want to help and guide others for their highest good. Love it. Beautiful. And Summer says, I definitely want to be a trusted advisor. Yep, me too. Well, for me, it's not so much want to be. That's what I'm living right now. It's fabulous. And finally, hang on. See, Miriam says, I want to have powerful conversations. Absolutely. And then let me see. Here's one from Samantha. And she says, I think I'd like to be in the middle. I'm comfortable with being a party trick, but being a trusted advisor scares me. Well, Samantha, I love your honesty, and maybe there are some others who are feeling the same way. You're definitely in the right place, because this is what it's all about. I'm going to be showing you those 5 ways to become a trusted tarot advisor very, very soon. And I hope by the end of this training, it'll be something that you feel is very much within reach. All right, so I've got one last question for you. If you don't feel like a trusted advisor in your readings right now, what would be possible for you and others if you did become that trusted tarot advisor? And again, I'd love for you to share some of your responses in the chat, and I can read some of those out. So think about what would be possible if you really stepped into that role of becoming a trusted tarot advisor. All right, let's see. Bianca is saying it would mean I would be able to help my clients on a deep soul level. Absolutely. It's totally like soulful, magical, just, gorgeous stuff. Jamie says it would mean I could charge more for my readings because my clients would value them more. Yep, absolutely, definitely. And Danny says, I'd feel like I was making a real difference with my tarot skills and sharing my gifts. Oh, yes, absolutely. Fabulous. Now, I just want you to remember, one is not better than the other. But the training today is really designed for those of you who have the core intention of becoming a trusted tarot advisor. I want to be really clear with that. All right, so a little bit about me. For those of you who may not know me very well just yet, let me share a couple of quick facts before we get into the training. So number one, I'm the founder of Biddy Tarot, and every year we have over 4 million visitors to our website who are learning from our tarot card meanings. In fact, if you type in any tarot card into Google, you'll find us at the top. Pretty awesome. All right, and I'm also a trusted tarot advisor to over 10,000 people who have had readings with me over the last 20 years. And I continue to connect with even more people through the tarot. And then most importantly, I've taught over 1,500 students in my online training programs to become trusted advisors and successful tarot readers in their own right. And as a testament to the quality of what I teach, our programs at Biddy Tarot are fully accredited by the International Institute of Complementary Therapies. So I want you to know, I know firsthand what it takes to truly become a trusted tarot advisor. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today, how to go from party trick to trusted advisor. And I'll show you those 5 steps to nail every reading every time, even if you're reading for a total skeptic. So this training, it's designed to help you to become a better tarot reader, have a bigger impact, and create more positive change in the world. So with that said, let's dive in. All right, so our first step or strategy is learn how to interpret the cards, not what the cards mean. So here's the thing. You're gonna die. That's a bit dramatic, isn't it? So most people learn tarot through memorization, or at least they try to. So they spend hours studying what the books say, trying to commit it all to memory. And then when it comes time to doing the tarot reading, they hope to God that they'll remember it all and it'll make sense. I'll tell you what, this is a classic party trick move. You draw the death card and you think, oh, the death card, someone's gonna die. Or maybe you draw the tower card and you go, ooh, total chaos and destruction. Or maybe the Eight of Pentacles comes up in a reading and then you think, oh shoot, let me just look this up on my iPhone. So I'm sure you've been in that position before where you wanted to remember all the card meanings, but it just hasn't come into your mind as you're doing that tarot reading. Or it hasn't really come in the right way that's made sense for that reading. But look, I also realize it can be kind of scary to put your book down during a reading and purely rely on your intuition. Because what if you can't remember what the card means? What if you go blank? What if your intuition just kind of doesn't work for you at that point in time? Or what if you just get it completely wrong? So that's why you've got to learn how to interpret the cards, not just what the cards mean. So a party trick tarot reader might spend half the reading looking up the meanings in a book. But if you want to be a trusted advisor, then you definitely need to do something different. So put the book down, take a deep breath, then draw the tarot card. Then as you're drawing, as you have that tarot card in front of you, just simply take note of any initial intuitive thoughts or feelings. Just kind of read the energy off the card. You might describe the picture, what's happening in the card. And you might also start to see that as you're describing the picture or the story in the card, you start to see how that story is playing out in your own life and what kind of personal meaning that has for you. And sometimes in this process, you're also allowing your intuition to really kick into gear. It's those symbols and the pictures that we see in the cards that open up this pathway into our intuition. And it's like no other in terms of a comparison with remembering what a card means versus really allowing yourself and your intuition to truly explore the story of the card. And as you're really just getting into these cards and into the messages of the cards, really allow yourself to be guided by your intuition. And then answer the question with the card that you've drawn and all of that beautiful, juicy, intuitive insight that you've gathered from that card. So that's really, in essence, that's how you start to learn how to interpret the cards, learn more about the method of getting into the intuitive meaning of the card versus just rote learning what all of the cards mean. Okay, so when you're reading tarot like this, you start to make a really instant connection to your intuition, and that's ultimately when your readings start to sparkle. And you'll know that this is happening because the insights, they really begin to flow easily and effortlessly. And trust me, you will be blown away by the messages in the cards. So I want to share a little bit of an example with something that came up with a client a while ago. I was reading for her about her relationship with her ex, and the Knight of Cups came up. And if you were someone that typically just memorizes the card meanings, you'd think, okay, yep, very romantic, and maybe he's being all romantic with her, and maybe it means that they're destined to be together. But something in me said, we're not going to do the book meaning today. We're going to really tune into the intuitive message of this card and have a look at that card there. So the Knight of Cups, have a look. The thing that attracted my attention was that river running through a very dry, arid kind of desert, in fact. And I started seeing it as if it were like a desert oasis. And I instantly had this feeling that maybe the ex was off in the desert, but with someone else, trying to romance somebody else. And I sent this message to the client. I said, look, this is a possibility. Is he out in the desert with somebody else? And a few days later, she wrote back to me and she said, oh my goodness. Yes, I just found out that he literally was in the desert at some oasis resort with a new girlfriend. And for this client, it was the final nail in the coffin. And she realized that this relationship was no longer meant for her and she really just needed to let it go. Now, that whole idea of a desert oasis, you will not find that in a tarot card meaning book. You'll only find it when you really do connect with your intuition as you're reading the tarot cards. So that's super, super important. The first step to really nailing every reading every time is to make sure that you are reading the cards intuitively and you're learning more about how to interpret them versus what the cards mean. All right, so let's move into step number 2. And this is listen for the heart of the question. Okay, so imagine this. You're doing a reading for a friend and she asks you, where should I move to? Where should I live next? So you grab the cards and you pull out the 5 of Pentacles and you think, oh man, this is hard. And you say to her, maybe you should move to a church. Meanwhile, you're quickly realizing that there's no card for Canada or Southern California or anywhere else for that matter. And you're finding that you're not actually able to answer her question. You're starting to sweat and your friend is going to think you're a total fraud because you can't answer her simple questions. Your hands are clammy, you're wriggling in your seat, and you say to her, hey, let's get a drink, hoping that you're going to distract her. Total party trick fail. So what do you do instead? The strategy here is to listen for the heart of the question. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how you do this. So as a party trick tarot reader, you'll take any question and you'll read on it straight away in the hope that you'll please and impress the person you're reading for. It doesn't really matter what they're asking, you just think, okay, I just better do my tarot reading based on their original question. But as a trusted tarot advisor, you'll actually unpack the question first with the client to really get to the heart of the question and what's really being asked. So you might be wondering, well, how exactly do you do that? I want to give you some quick tips. So if you think about most questions that are asked of the tarot cards, they usually fall into one of 2 categories. They're either fate-based or choice-based. Now, fate-based questions usually start with is, will, when, or should. Like, is my boyfriend cheating on me? Will I get the job? When should I move house? Should I move house? And so on. So these kinds of questions assume that the client is powerless in creating their futures, and instead the future will just happen to them. And these readings might show off your psychic abilities if you've got them, but they're not going to create lasting change for your clients. Now, choice-based questions, on the other hand, start with what, how, and why. And they assume that your client is empowered to create their destiny just the way that they want it. And if you read questions that are more phrased around the what, how, and why, your reading is going to help them make better choices about what they truly want and how to make it happen. It is so much more powerful, right? So when you slow down and really listen to the heart of the question and start to shift it more into this choice-based kind of question, then you connect more deeply with the person you're reading for, and you can truly help them to shape their own destiny in really powerful ways. Okay, let's move on now to step number 3, and this is super important. So write this down in your workbook. Practice reading tarot for people you don't know and ask for feedback. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that so you can jot it down. So practice reading tarot for people you don't know and ask for feedback. So the other thing that people who read tarot tell me is that they're often practicing on themselves. And look, I want to be clear, there is nothing wrong with practicing tarot with yourself, especially when you are learning and experimenting with the cards. But there comes a time when reading for yourself won't improve your tarot reading skills anymore, and you need to start reading for others. So what typically happens is you start reading for your friends and family, and it's a really good step. You develop your confidence and you develop your skills. But then your mum runs out of questions to ask the tarot cards. Or on the flip side, your sister asks you for the 20th time that week when she's going to meet her future husband. And it can really get tedious for everybody. So if you really want to become a trusted tarot advisor, here's what you need to do. you need to practice reading tarot for people you don't know. And again, ask for feedback. Okay, so instead of sitting in your bedroom reading for yourself, maybe even your cat or George Clooney, who knows, for the 1000th time, I want you to get out and start reading for strangers in exchange for a unique learning experience and for real-time feedback. So here's what you want to do. You want to find people who are ready and willing to give you feedback in exchange for a free reading. And find people you don't know who are actually strangers to you, so that you can't simply rely on what you already know about them. And then this is when your intuition truly has to kick into gear. Okay, so you could set up at a local cafe, a library, a hairdresser, even set up on the street if your local council allows you to. Wherever you need to go to just get access to people who would love to have a free reading. Now, the first reading that you do, it might be a little scary. You might be a little nervous, but as soon as you get that first positive feedback, wow, your confidence literally will go through the roof. You see, when you read tarot for strangers, you are getting real life experience that is like no other. And you also get instant validation of whether you're hitting the nail on the head or not. Plus, it's going to give you incredibly valuable experience so that you can then go on to read for others professionally. And even if that's not just on your radar just yet, you might be surprised at how the confidence boost of reading for strangers can open you up to all sorts of new possibilities. And in fact, that leads me to a story about one of our community members, Garrett. So here's Garrett. He's a really sweet guy. And 2 years ago, Garrett could barely get through a tarot reading without looking it up in his tarot book. And each time he did a tarot reading, he literally copied exactly what was in the book and wrote it down for his own readings. Now, a year later, Garrett discovered the Biddy Tarot community, and in the very first week of becoming a member, he jumped into the free tarot readings platform, which is where you can be connected with people around the world who would love to have a free reading with you and who have agreed to give you feedback for that reading. So he jumped onto the free tarot readings platform and he set up his reader profile. And oh my goodness, when I had a chat with him, he said he was so nervous. His hands were shaking as he set his availability and finally clicked that submit button. He knew that his very first client would be landing in his inbox in just 24 hours. And Garrett actually recalled this moment. Let me share it with you. So Garrett said, "I'll never forget the anxiety that ran through my body when my first FTR request popped into my inbox. However, I took a moment to breathe and get centered before reading it. The question was basically, tell me about my future. And thanks to the community, I knew exactly how to handle this inquiry. I immediately emailed the client and asked a few questions to get to the heart of what she wanted to know." And from that point on, things just went up for Garrett. So after a few readings, Garrett started receiving 5-star feedback and his confidence just went through the roof. And he actually said to me that he was totally blown away by the accuracy and the clarity of his readings. And better still, so were his clients. So it's pretty cool stuff. Now, by the 12th reading, and by getting consistently positive feedback, Garrett decided it was time to start charging for his readings. He set the intention, and literally within days, he had multiple requests for paid readings. And a week after that, he was contacted by the local farmers market asking if he wanted to read tarot regularly every week at the market. Like crazy manifester. I love it. Now, fast forward to now, and Garrett has his own website. Here it is. And he has a steady flow of clients. And I just think it's awesome. He has literally gone from that nervous, that very first reading on the free tarot readings platform, like literally just 12 months ago. And now look at him now. He's got this beautiful site. He's got a steady flow of clients, and it's all just clicking into place for him. And this is what Garrett says about his experience. I am deeply grateful for the FTR because it helped to give me the courage to start and grow my own tarot reading business. I feel so comfortable helping clients get to the heart of their questions and then trusting what I see in their cards. If I hadn't had the opportunity to read for complete strangers in an established learning environment, I'd probably still just be reading for myself. And, I could not say it better. The experience of reading for strangers is just so incredibly valuable. And if you really want to take that next step into becoming a trusted tarot advisor, this is an absolute critical step in that process. And Garrett is an absolute testament to that. And I'm so proud of you, Garrett. You've done such an amazing job. All right, let's move on now to step number 4. So write this down in your workbook. Connect with your tribe and compare notes with others who do more than just party tricks. So the key here is connect with your tribe. So write that down. All right, so have you ever hung out with people who thought you were just plain weird for even talking about tarot and intuition? Maybe they think you're a total Fruit Loop because you use words like universe, spirit, intuitive hits, guides, and so on. Or maybe worse, you have maybe been in a situation where people have laughed at you or maybe put you down for listening in to your inner wisdom. I've been there before, and I tell you what, it feels awful. And worse, it dulls your light and it makes connecting with your intuition that much harder because you're always in this self-doubt and judgment mode. Ugh, it's such a yucky feeling. But imagine on the flip side, if you were surrounded by people who love to read tarot and who use this tool in powerful and meaningful ways, who wanted to see you succeed as a tarot reader and as a trusted advisor, who weren't afraid to talk about the important role that tarot plays in our lives, and who were bold and courageous and were willing to share all of that good juju around. It is a totally different feeling, right? So that is our step number 4, is to connect with your tribe and really find those people who you align with, who actually get this world of tarot and trusting your intuition and so on. And it's really important to be with folks who are treating tarot seriously, not just as a party trick, but also really getting into the true power of tarot and that huge impact that it can have on yourself and others. So being around people who actually get tarot, it can really support your development as a tarot reader without questioning you or without leaving you feeling silly. So you want to find like-minded people who are non-judgmental and who really want to see you succeed. People who inspire you and show you what's truly possible with tarot. And people who will answer your questions and support you along your journey with tarot. So once you find these people, meet with your tribe regularly to talk about tarot and compare notes about your readings, or compare notes about your tarot card interpretations or client interactions. So make sure you have that support network of other people who read tarot and other people who get you on that level. It will lift your readings up to that next level, like amazing, right? And look, you've probably heard this saying before, but I really want to emphasize it. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And boy, is it true, especially when it comes to something like tarot, where there can be such contrasting views. People are either going to get you or they're not. So when you surround yourself with like-minded people who love tarot just as much as you do, it really elevates your tarot reading skills, and it really inspires you to maximize the full potential that tarot has to offer. Now, there is one more strategy I want to share with you, which I'm saving up for last, but I want to first pause and check in with you. You're probably in one of 3 places right now. Number 1, you're saying, I read tarot like a party trick, and that's fine by me. I love having drunk people asking me if they'll get laid tonight, and I'm happy to do that for the next 20 years. Sorry, a little bit tongue-in-cheek there. Or maybe you're saying, I might read tarot like a party trick now, but really I want my tarot readings to have more impact. I want to be a trusted tarot advisor. Or maybe number 3, you're saying, I'm already a trusted tarot advisor, but not everyone recognizes it instantly. And I'm looking for a way to stand out from the crowd and get more clients. So I want you to know this, wherever you are is perfect. But if you aren't consistently feeling like the people you read for consider you as their trusted advisor, and you want that for them in your tarot readings, then you've got some work to do. And for those of you who truly resonate with this and want some help on the journey, I want to welcome you to my signature training, the Biddy Tarot Certification Program. So the Biddy Tarot Certification Program is a complete training and certification program that shows you how to read tarot like a trusted advisor. So on the surface, it's about teaching you the skills and techniques that you need to become a trusted tarot advisor and giving you the credibility and validation of being certified by the leading tarot organization online. And on a deeper level, it's about connecting and trusting your inner wisdom, sharing crystal clear insight, and truly making a difference in your life and others. So the Biddy Tarot Certification Program is like no other. It gives you 3 main advantages. So number 1, it gives you start to finish training with our 2 most popular training programs. There's Master the Tarot Card Meanings, which really teaches you about how to interpret the cards rather than what the cards mean. And you also get access to the Read Tarot with Confidence program. And this is all about how do you do amazing tarot readings, not just for yourself, but for other people. Plus, you also get access to me so you can ask me questions and get advice about reading tarot. Now, with the program, it also gives you the opportunity to practice your tarot readings inside of our free tarot readings platform in the community. And this is just like what Garrett was able to do, jumped into the free tarot readings and, in an instant, he was able to open himself up to being able to read for others. And, all it took for Garrett was 12 readings and he felt confident enough to take the next step in his tarot journey. And number 3, it gives you credibility, knowing that you have been trained and certified with an internationally accredited company, Biddy Tarot. And this is Andrew Barker, who is absolutely gorgeous. And he recently became a certified Biddy Tarot reader. And there he is holding his certificate up proudly. It's absolutely, love seeing our students with their certificates. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be wondering, how is this different from other tarot certification programs? Well, those late night internet searches that bring up websites that promise instant tarot certification? Well, that is party trick certification. The Biddy Tarot Certification Program, this is for trusted tarot advisors. So unlike other tarot certifications that certify anyone with a pulse and a credit card, our certification program is a cut above the rest, and here's why. You'll complete a series of quizzes as you learn, and that's really to make sure that you're understanding the key concepts of the training. You submit samples of your tarot readings to our certification panel review, and that really shows us that you understand how to interpret the cards and communicate with clients in a meaningful way. You also give practice readings to strangers to really boost your confidence and give you lots of real-world experience during your studies. And you'll be asked to submit your unique code of ethics to our certification review panel, along with your application for certification, to really demonstrate your intention and your integrity as a reader. So we are raising the bar and setting the standard high so that when you finally do become a certified Biddy Tarot reader, a CBTR for short, you can proudly display it to your friends, family, and new clients, knowing that you've been recognized as a trusted tarot advisor. So I want to talk a little bit about how the program works. Let's talk about the training side of things. So when you enroll, you'll get access to our most popular course, Master the Tarot Card Meanings. And inside of that, You'll find 7 modules of video lessons, workbooks, and quizzes along the way to make sure you understand the key concepts. And you'll have 3 months to complete this course. So from now until January 31, you'll complete the first course, Master the Tarot Card Meanings. Then in February of 2018, you'll get access to the Read Tarot with Confidence course with another 7 modules of video lessons, workbooks, and quizzes along the way. Now, both courses are readily available online, so you can watch the video lessons when and where it suits you. You can also download them as well, and that way you actually have lifetime access via your own personal computer. And really, that's just the training component. Oh, hang on. I forgot to mention those live monthly calls with me. So I'm going to be with you every step of the way as you do the training. So every month, I'll have live office hours, so you can hop on a live group call with me and ask me any question you have about tarot. And so this is just the training component. I want to talk now about the practice opportunities. So from day one, as soon as you enroll to the certification program, you'll get access to the free tarot readings platform where you can give those free tarot readings to the general public. You can choose how many readings you want each week, and you can easily request feedback after you complete a reading. It is such an awesome way to put your skills into practice, get feedback, and really build your confidence. And you can see that there on the slide. You can see how just easy it is to set your availability. You could go, all right, I want to have 2 readings on Monday and 1 on a Saturday. Super easy. And you can start that straight away. Or if you feel like you need to get a little bit of training first, do that and then jump into the free tarot readings. You're also going to get access to the Biddy Tarot community, and that gives you group support from over 1,000 members. Plus there's additional training inside the community. Masterclasses, resources, cheat sheets, all sorts of things. Now, finally, there is certification. So in May of next year, we'll open up the doors for applications to become a certified Biddy Tarot reader. You'll be asked to submit 3 tarot readings you've done, submit your code of ethics, and how you choose to work with the tarot. And your application will be reviewed by a panel of respected tarot readers, including myself, and you'll also receive personalized feedback with your application. If you're successful, you'll be able to proudly call yourself a certified Biddy Tarot reader, and you'll be included in our directory of readers on Biddy Tarot. Now, here is what is super cool about certification. If you want to read for friends and family, then awesome. You've got the confidence in knowing that you've been through a rigorous training and certification. If you want to be like Andrew here and go on to read tarot professionally, then this is a real certification that will set you apart from other people in the marketplace and will actually be a great selling point when it comes to getting clients. Now, let's talk about bonuses because they are super fun, and there are a ton of bonuses included in the certification program. In fact, everyone who enrolls in the program is going to get access to more than 20 bonuses worth an additional $1,000. There are checklists, reference charts, audios, PDFs, templates, so many things. So let me just tell you about a couple of them. There is my 20-minute confidence booster meditation, and I personally created this guided visualization to help you feel 100% confident every time you go to do a tarot reading. This is powerful stuff, my friends. There is also the 45-minute Fool's Journey to help you connect on a deep intuitive level with all 22 major arcana cards, and boy, is that juicy. And then there's also my personal tarot card keyword sheets giving you a quick and easy way to learn the tarot card meanings. And really, seriously, that is just a sample of them. There are oodles more inside the certification program, and I know that you are just going to love them. It's not just all the videos and the workbooks, it's all of these bonuses as well that will get you super excited about learning tarot. And seriously, these bonuses are worth over $1,000. So, are you ready to finally become a trusted tarot advisor like we've talked about today and really make a difference with your tarot readings? Now, going by the comments and the awesome chat we've had today, I'm going to take a wild guess and say that many of you are excited to start the certification program straight away. But one thing that typically comes up when you're ready to dive in is this: what is the investment? Okay, so with the 2 training programs, practice opportunities, community membership, certifications, and all of the bonuses, the value of this program is well over $3,000 US. But the regular investment in the certification program is $1,297. So that's the regular investment in this 7-month training and certification program. But when you register between now and October 24th, the investment is just $997, and that is a saving of $300 off the regular price. So that's if you want to pay in full pay, it's $997. And we've also got a monthly payment plan available if that's helpful for you. And that way you can get started for just $179 today. And then there will be 5 more monthly installments of $179 later. So to enroll in this program, go to biddytarot.com/certification or click on the button to the right. Hopefully it's there. Now look, here's the cool thing. You could easily make back your investment with 10 readings of $100 each. That is seriously just a week or two's worth of work. The certification program will continue to benefit you week after week, month after month, year after year. And so the return on your investment is huge, absolutely huge. So to make sure that you get this $300 savings, you'll need to be really quick because the early bird offer ends at 11:59 p.m. on October 24th, Pacific time. So to join, remember, go over to biddytarot.com/certification or click on the link on the side of the page. Now, shortly after you enroll, you'll get access to the program's website, and that way you can start learning straight away. But I also know that for some of you, you might not be able to start straight away, and that's totally okay. I've absolutely got you covered. Remember, you've got 3 months access to the program online, and even better, you can download the class materials to your personal computer so you have lifetime access. So remember, each of those courses, the training courses, you have 3 months for each of those. Plus you've got the 6 months inside the community doing the free tarot readings and 6 months worth of live calls with me. So it's perfect, being able to start at any time within those 3 months or even being able to download for lifetime access. It's perfect if now isn't the best time for you to start the course, but you want to take advantage of this limited time offer. So I want you to know we'll be right here waiting for you when you're ready to start. Now, but wait, there's more. I've always wanted to say this, right? Now, because I love people who trust their intuition and take action on it, I'm adding a very special bonus. If you're one of the first 20 people to sign up to the certification program, you're also going to get access to an exclusive 60-minute masterclass with me. And inside this masterclass, I'm going to show you 5 everyday things you can do to strengthen your intuition. It's one thing to read the tarot cards, and it's another thing to read them intuitively. So in this exclusive masterclass, I'll show you 5 simple strategies to connect with your intuition and create powerful tarot readings. So if you want to find out how to connect more deeply with your intuition, then enroll in the certification program ASAP, because I'm not kidding, this will be gone in a flash. It's only open to the first 20 people who enroll, and you'll get access to this masterclass. So to enroll, go to biddytarot.com/certification. Now, we also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you do the work and you show me your results and you're still not satisfied with the program, I'll gladly give you a refund. It's also because I believe so much in this program, so that I know if you start doing the work, you will absolutely see the results in your tarot readings. And if you don't, then give us a bell, contact us, and we will gladly give you that refund. Okay, so let me just summarize what we've gone through. The Biddy Tarot certification program is open now, but only for a very limited time. Enroll by October 24th and you'll save $300 off the regular enrollment. So remember, you can either pay with a one-time payment or there's the monthly payment plan as well. And if you're one of the first 20 people to enroll, you'll receive my bonus intuition masterclass. Now, we will be having the doors open until October 31, but I really want you to get access to not just the early bird saving, but also to this intuition masterclass. So be sure to enroll as soon as possible. So biddytarot.com/certification. Now, if you have any specific questions about this program, my team and I are standing by to answer them on this live call. I'm also going to be jumping back on the video to answer your questions after I share this one final strategy that I have for you to help you go from party trick to trusted tarot advisor. All right, so let's get into this final step. And then I will be jumping back on video to answer your questions. All right, so the final step is trust yourself. And this is absolutely probably the most important step, and it's probably going to strike you as pretty simple and straightforward, but I tell you what, this can actually be really tough to achieve. One of the things that aspiring tarot readers tell me most often is, Bridget, I just don't know if I can trust my intuition, or I don't know if my reading is right or wrong, or even I just don't feel confident reading tarot. And you see it in tarot readings, people are checking the book for the right meaning. They're holding back. They're avoiding reading for other people altogether because they just don't want to screw it up. And they're super worried to tell anyone about reading tarot because they're worried that they might be judged. And even just downplaying tarot and saying, oh, it's just this silly hobby I do on the side. This is really common and really normal, and maybe you can relate with it. And look, ultimately, it all boils down to one thing, and that is trust. It's trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting that even if something doesn't make sense to your logical brain, it can still be useful and powerful on a whole other level, on an intuitive level. Now, I could teach a whole other workshop on why this is so rampant in the culture right now, and why so many people are afraid to trust themselves or dare to defy logic or rationality. But really, that is a story for another day. So today, I'll just say that if you have a sense that tarot is more than just a party trick, don't second guess it. What if you're right? What if there is something more to tarot than just ink on paper? What if the cards actually do create a bridge between everyday reality and the greater mystery, a deeper, more connected truth about what is? What if you're actually right about that? So it all starts with this, with trusting yourself and trusting your intuition. And boy, do I want you to make a commitment to fully maximize the potential of tarot and have a lasting impact on others. I know it because I've been there before. Back in 2012, I was thinking about leaving behind my corporate career to become a full-time tarot professional. I'd studied at university for years to achieve my bachelor's and master's degrees in business, and I'd worked tirelessly in various consulting and human resource positions to establish my career. And here I was about to let all of that go to become a tarot reader. Rationally, it was nuts. But intuitively, I knew it was time to make the leap. My readings about the potential transition were all going from reverse cards to all upright cards. I had a dream where I was telling a dear friend that I'd finally quit my job. And I had one day of the most out of this world earnings on Biddy Tarot. And from there, it just continued to grow at a ridiculous rate. And this was immediately after me questioning how much money would need for me to really give up my corporate job and be comfortable. And so that was totally the universe telling me, just go for it, Bridget, go for it. And look, I did need a little bit of convincing, and I waited another 3 months before I made my decision. But literally on one morning, in August 2012, I woke up and it felt like something had popped. I said to myself, right, I am doing this. And finally, I paid attention to everything that had happened and I listened to my intuition. And I have never looked back. Not only do I earn 5 times as much as I did in my corporate job, I'm having a deep transformational impact on millions of people every year, for which I am so grateful, like crazy grateful. And the best thing is I'm following my soul purpose, all because I listen to my intuition. So when you trust yourself, when you're really saying yes to yourself, that is when the magic happens. And I really want to leave you with that concept of just trust yourself, trust your intuition, because when you do, when you hear that calling and you go with it, wow, does everything just align in the most beautiful, beautiful way. Oh, there's me working on my computer, thinking about moving into the new space. And look, this is me. This is my lifestyle now. Like, so happy working with tarot and connecting with people all around the world. And again, all because I just trusted my intuition. So, are you ready to fully trust your intuition and live an inspired life? One that is truly in alignment with what you're meant to do here in this lifetime? Well, let tarot cards be your guide. Because when you connect intuitively with the tarot, you connect intuitively with yourself and the universe. And from there, everything flows. You'll gain deep insight into your own life and how you can create a positive future for yourself. You'll have a lasting and positive impact on the people you're here to serve, and with many people reaching out to you for professional support or even just friend support. And you'll be in alignment with your soul purpose and ready to make decisions, like I did with my career, to support that purpose. And all of this is possible by connecting with the tarot cards. You might even feel inspired to go running along the beach with your colored balloons, just like this gorgeous lady here. So I really want to show you how to do this inside of the Biddy Tarot Certification Program. Not the running along the beach with the balloons, but more about how you can connect with the tarot cards and live this amazing intuitive life. So you'll get end-to-end training to help you become a confident tarot reader. You'll have the opportunity to practice your skills reading tarot with with real people who give you real and honest feedback. And you'll enhance your credibility and reputation with certification. So between now and October 24th, remember you'll save $300 off your enrollment. And if you're one of the first 20 to sign up, you'll get exclusive access to my 60-minute masterclass, 5 everyday things you can do to strengthen your intuition. To enroll, go to biddytarot.com/certification. And you can find out more about the program, plus you can enroll straight away. So you can get instant access to the courses and to the community. My wish for you is for you to be an amazing tarot reader and a trusted advisor. So let me show you how inside of the Biddy Tarot Certification Program. Awesome. Now, I have been seeing lots of questions about the program, and I can see my team have been helping to answer as we've gone along. But what I want to do now is jump back onto the live video so that I can start to answer your questions personally. So please, if you've got any questions about the certification program, I would love to help you and support you. All right, give me one moment while I push a few buttons and I'll get back onto the video. All right, I'm back. Let me just check in with my team and make sure that you can hear me and see me okay. And then I am here for you, ready to take your questions and hopefully give you some answers. So I'm just waiting for the green light from my team to make sure that we are all good. All right, awesome. Kim saying, yep, fabulous. Yes, awesome. So I tell you what, I've been having so much fun inside of the live chat. So been loving answering all of your questions as we go along. with this training today. And what I wanted to do right now is jump on, and I'm here to answer your questions live. So I will be here as long as you need me. Well, okay, for the next, I've got time for the next hour. Like literally, you can ask me anything you want about tarot and anything you want about the certification program, because I know for many of you, you'll be thinking about whether it's the right fit for you and whether it's something that you want to go ahead with. So I want to be here to help you with that. All right, fabulous. So I'm going to just check in and see what some of the questions that we've got coming through. Beautiful. Okay, so I know that a few of you are thinking, oh, I'm just not sure that October is quite the right month to do certification. And are you going to be offering the program again anytime soon? So here's the thing. Our certification program is like a huge, comprehensive, intense program, and it's something that we will offer only once per year. Now, this is the time for 2017, and we haven't yet set the dates for 2018. So I'm feeling confident we will run it again next year, but I don't know exactly when. So if you're thinking like, oh, I'm not sure if it's now, maybe I could do it next month or the month after that, then here's what I'd recommend. Sign up for the certification program now, and you can start in November. You can start in December if you want. So remember, you've got until the end of January to finish the Master the Tarot Card Meanings course. So even then, if you were really organized, you could actually start MTCM in 1st of January. So I really want to encourage you to think about, is now the time for you? It might not be the perfect time right now, but think about how that might work for you in the long run, because I really don't want for you to miss out. I don't want you to be kind of like, oh man, I've missed the certification program. Now I'm just sitting here and waiting. So yes, I hope that is helpful. All right, oops, let me jump into my questions here. And Mercedes asking a similar question. So is the program and enrollment open every year around this time? So I think we're going to have different timing next year, but I haven't confirmed those dates yet. So I have a very good feeling we'll do it again next year. We've had such an awesome response today, or in this launch. So I think we'll do it again next year, but I'm not exactly sure when. Now, just to check in, if you're also interested in accessing this bonus masterclass that I'm offering to the first 20 to sign up, we've got a few more places left. So if that sounds appealing and you want to learn how to really connect with your intuition as a tarot reader, then make sure you sign up and you're in that first 20, and you can take advantage of the masterclass. So there are still a few places available. All right, beautiful. Let me see. Now, a few of you were asking this during the training, does it matter which deck I use to learn? And I know some of you might be using all sorts of decks, right? So here's the thing. I teach with the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. It's great. It's got nice colors, and it's probably the traditional tarot deck. Now, you can take the program using a different tarot deck. What I suggest, though, is that you're using a clone of the Rider-Waite deck. So if you're using something that's super abstract, doesn't even have pictures, it's just, random colors, which there's just not really many cards like that, that's probably not great. But basically, the majority of tarot decks will be fine for this training, because I show you how to get into the energy and the essence of each card, and we particularly do it through the story that you're seeing in the card. So as long as you have a card that's has got pictures and you can kind of get into that card and feel its energy, then it's going to be a great fit. Now, here's the other thing that I know many people do. They go, all right, I don't love the Rider-Waite, but I'm going to learn with it. So then I could parallel with the deck that I actually really like. Now, you might have seen me do this on the weekly tarot card Facebook Lives. And what I do is I talk about the Rider-Waite card, and then I get my other favorite deck, the Lumina Tarot, and I pull the same card, and we do a bit of a comparison. And I find that the second deck just gives me a whole next level of understanding of that deck. So that's my long answer. The short answer is, yes, you can still take this training if you don't use the Rider-Waite. I would probably just encourage you to think about using the Rider-Waite just for the training, and then use it to parallel with your other deck. But it's not the end of the world if you choose you don't want to do that. So you can still learn with a different deck. I hope that's been helpful. All right. Okay. Let me see. Chloe says, what if I haven't even started reading for strangers, not even my family? Am I even ready to do a certification? So here's the really neat thing that happens, Chloe, and this is to everybody who's at that very beginning phase of their tarot journey. Remember the story I told about Garrett, right? Like literally, 6 to 12 months ago, he was barely reading for anyone other than himself and a few close friends. And at that point in time, he had no idea that he was going to be a professional reader in 12 months' time. Like so many times you just can't see it. So Chloe, you might be sitting here going, oh, I'm such a beginner. How could I even think about certification? This is the great thing. You are on an accelerated, fast track learning journey to help get you the skills to be that confident reader, to be that trusted tarot advisor. So in 7 months' time, you might be coming back to me and saying, hey, Bridget, I've got a really cool story to tell if you want to tell it in one of these trainings. Because, we think that it's like, oh my gosh, will I be able to learn it? Can I really read for other people? And then once we get in there, boom, confidence goes through the roof. It's crazy. It happens all the time for our community members who are doing the free tarot readings. They start and they think, oh, I'm so nervous. Who am I to do these readings? And within a few readings, they are feeling like on top of the world, so confident. So Chloe, I think it's an awesome place to start because it's going to give you all of those skills, the knowledge, the practice, the training, the support, everything you need so that in 7 months' time, you are going to be a whole different person, a whole different tarot reader. Oh, yeah. So I hope that's helpful. All right, I'm just skipping through a few more questions here. Donovan says, I feel that I read tarot as a trusted advisor. However, I don't feel I have the confidence in myself. Even though my readings are accurate and in tune with my intuition, am I alone with this, and what strategy can be used to overcome this? Oh man, self-doubt plagues us all, doesn't it? So here's what I find works really well, and it's coming back to these free tarot readings that are I see it time and time again, and I hear it from our community members over and over. It's that initial nervousness and the whole who am I to read tarot cards? And then it's actually doing the practice readings and getting the feedback and those star ratings. They can be a really good confidence boost. And then that just keeps giving you ongoing positive feedback that you're heading in the right direction. So always ask for feedback. You could always phrase it in a way that you'll get positive feedback to say, okay, what was really valuable for you in this reading? And it will just reaffirm that you are on the right track, Donovan. So I hope that's been helpful. Really ask for the feedback because that will just continue to reaffirm that you're doing the right thing in your readings. And just really pay attention to the transformation that you're creating in people's lives, the impact that you're having. It will be huge. All right, beautiful. Sienna's saying, do you feel that the images within the deck matter? The examples you gave were very story-esque images, but all of my tarot is heavy on graphic images and animal-related imagery. Yeah, so this is interesting. I find that there are quite a few animal decks coming out over the last few years. And if you've ever done work with shamanic journeying, spirit animals, or even you have a strong affinity with animals, you'll often find that just, say even the concept of a bear, you will tap into the energy and the essence of the bear. And that's what's important. So even though there might not be a story, you might just see the bear on the card. If you have a strong affinity with animals, then that card is going to take on intuitive meaning for you. Now, if you're like, an animal's an animal and I don't even see any energy or I don't get what they're about, then maybe that's not going to be the right thing for you. But ultimately, Sienna, you've been attracted and drawn to those animal cards for a reason, and it's probably because you have an intuitive connection with it. So that's the most important thing here. Can you intuitively connect with the energy and the essence of that card? And if so, then that's a great deck to be learning with. And again, what did I want to say? You may want to use the Rider-Waite as your learning deck and then have your favorite deck alongside you as you're learning as well. All right, Talia's asking, what are the payment methods in case a credit card or PayPal isn't available? I think it is just credit card and PayPal. My team's really good at this. And in fact, they might be able to drop an answer if we have any other. I don't think we do have any other options. Let me see. I'm not sure. Okay, but that's all good. So, Talia, I think we've just got credit card or PayPal. I'm not even sure that we have PayPal. We can organize it. So if you need PayPal, you can contact us at team@biddytarot.com and we will help you out with that. All right, Rebecca's saying, what do you tell a client when something they ask you stumps you? You just go, excuse me, I've got to go to the bathroom. And you can think it out. Actually, that's probably a good technique. But seriously though, sometimes I think it's actually good to be transparent about where we're at. So if you're doing a reading with a client and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not connecting, or I just don't get this, verbalize it. Say to the client, like, okay, we've got the Tower card here, but everything's going really well for you. I can't really make sense of this because the Tower talks about, disruption and so on. And I can't make sense of this. Now, here's the thing. This is where the client will meet you where you're at, because you might not be able to make sense of it, but they might go, oh, you know what? There's something I haven't told you. I'm actually, I'm moving house and it's very tumultuous, and actually that is affecting my relationship, which is what I've asked the question about. So just be upfront and transparent around what you're experiencing when you're reading the cards. Just to say, you know what, I'm not sure I don't know what this card means. And not so much that you don't know what it means, I just don't know what it represents for you right now. How about I talk about it and it might actually have some more meaning for you. So I hope that helps. And really, if in doubt, just use the bathroom. Look it up on your phone. I'm kidding. All right. Let me see. Tara saying, regarding ethics, I have a great relationship spread that looks in depth at the other, and the relationship is 3 entities. Beautiful. I think that the cards only are connecting with what the client already knows on an unconscious level. I actually very much agree. I think that oftentimes when we're doing a tarot reading, we're often connecting with what you already know, but on that unconscious level. And so for those of us who are really in alignment with our inner selves, we often have a reading and we go, yeah, I actually knew that already. And that's awesome. I think that's a really good sign that you're in full alignment. It's when you go, what is that? You're probably a little bit out of alignment. Anyway, but I think, Tara, you're also talking about in a relationship spread, if you're asking about the other person. So I'm not sure if reading the other has ethical issues. Here's what I think. Ultimately, you need to decide where your comfort levels are with reading for third parties. And we do cover a lot about tarot reading ethics inside of the Read Tarot with Confidence program, as well as in the masterclass in the community. There's a whole 1-hour masterclass on ethics. Now, when it comes to reading for others in a relationship reading, I often see it as the other person in context with you. So how are you relating to that other person? Not necessarily what's going on in that person's life that you don't necessarily need to know or be engaged with, but more about what's the dynamic there. So that's my boundaries. Your boundaries might be different. Okay. All right. Beautiful. I'm just checking in with my team, and it looks like how are we doing on our... All right, we've still got 13 spots available for that bonus masterclass. So if that is appealing to you, now is the time. Fabulous. Okay, let's see. Kate says, really enjoyed listening to you. You're very inspirational. I read professionally already and looking at how I can build my business. Awesome. Thank you, Kate. And here's the thing, like, certification is awesome if you're already a professional reader. If you were on Facebook yesterday, I was speaking to Jess Carlson and Amy Lucas. Now, both of these beautiful women are they are professional tarot readers, and they were actually professional readers before they took the certification program, and they decided to get certified because well, they just wanted that inner knowing that they had what it takes, like, you know, and that they wanted to have something that they could proudly display to their clients. So if you're looking at building your tarot business, certification is a great way of really standing out from the crowd. Because I tell you what, it is crowded out there, and it's great if you have that credible, you know, that little bit of extra credibility to say, you know what, I've actually invested 7 months of my time into this, or even more, right? You know, I take this stuff seriously, so it's great. All right, let me see. Oh, and actually just on top of that, so Pallavi is also asking, does the certification program help set up a business? So no, we do talk near the end of Read Tarot with Confidence. I do talk about how you can start to make the move towards going professional. But if you want to really dig in deep, is what I want to say. If you want to dig in deep to how to create a business, then there is the Grow Your Tarot Business online program. So you can find out more about that one over at biddytarot.com, GYTBO. So yeah, that's much more business focused. All right. Kerry's saying, how would you suggest a beginner incorporates oracle cards with the tarot? Okay, so here's one really cool thing. If you're a community member, you will get access to a full hour-long masterclass on the oracle and tarot cards and how to bring those together in a really meaningful way. So remember, you get the community as part of your certification program. So that's one way to really dig deep with it. But here's a quick tip to get you started. I really like an oracle card at the end of a tarot reading, and it offers a way to kind of just wrap it all up, because the oracle cards are really big in their energy and they're kind of a bit more thematic, I suppose. And you can pull a card right at the end to say, okay, what do we need to like walk away with here? What's the greater message here? And integrate that with your tarot reading. So I hope that helps, Kerry. Let me see. Okay, Lee says, I really struggle with my communication. I see the cards as I lay them out, and immediately I get a mind map of the situation, but I can't seem to communicate this fast enough. Isn't that funny? We get like these massive downloads. It happens to me. Luckily, I can talk pretty fast, but you're getting like a massive download. You're like, oh, I can't articulate it, right? Because it's just coming in so fast. And it's the same when you're typing a reading. Like, that's why I can type very fast now, because it just comes through. So it seems like it's a split second of insight and then it goes away. When I try and communicate, I don't seem to have any words that make sense of what I have just felt. How can I rectify this? I don't feel I can move on until I rectify my communication. You know, maybe there's a little bit of self-censoring. Maybe you're worrying that, am I communicating this correctly? Or am I saying it in the right way? Really allow yourself just to like blurt it all out. It doesn't matter what it sounds like as it comes out. Just go, whoa, and I'm seeing like this matrix, and I don't know what the matrix is, but there's like all these like purple things going through it. And then, okay, now I'm seeing like a big lake and a dove flying above the lake. What kind of meaning does this have for you, right? Just allow it to just like almost stream of consciousness and just to come out without you thinking, okay, does this make sense? Do I sound okay? So really allow yourself to let go of that sort of self-censoring that might be happening. All right. Denny is saying, I've been doing the free readings for a month or two now, and boy, has my reading improved. Yes. Even my son commented on how it flowed using my intuition. I've always read for family and friends from the book, but now I'm just enjoying the more intuitive feel. Thank you. Oh, that's so good. I love it. Love it, Denny. Good on you. All right. Let me just check in. I'm just making sure we're all good. All right, fabulous. Okay, M. BNI is saying, what's your opinion on upside down or reverse? My opinion is that they're great, and it's something I teach inside of the Master the Tarot Card Meanings program, which you'll get inside of certification. And I like to do reverse cards a little bit differently to how many people do reverse cards. So a lot of people do them as like the opposite message, or like the negative side of the message, or the shadow, which I do sometimes do. But I like to see it as internalized energy. So something that's happening internally or privately versus something that's happening outside of you and something that you're projecting into the world. So if you're curious to find out more, you know how to, certification program. Jane says, as a beginner, do I need to memorize all of the tarot card meanings? And this came up a lot during the training as well. A number of you were asking, do I have to memorize the cards? So basically, no. The thing that happens when you memorize is your brain goes into this kind of funny space where you've either got it right or you've got it wrong. So when you're doing a tarot reading, instead of just allowing your intuition to flow, what you're doing is you're going, oh gosh, what did that card mean? Okay, I think it meant like a 6 of Cups. I think it meant nostalgia, was it? Or memory, childhood memory. And so your brain's like on overload, right? And meanwhile, your intuition's going, hey, over here. Brain's going, no, shush, I've got to get it right. Can I remember it, right? And we're messing the whole reading up because we're so, engrossed in have I got it right? So I actually recommend not so much memorizing the card meanings, but definitely do some, wide reading around the traditional meanings of the cards. So you don't have to rote learn them, but I want you to kind of feel them and get into what their energy and their essence really is. And that way you don't have to worry about being right or wrong in that respect. Melody's asking, could it represent internal mess or conflict? I'm assuming that might be for reversed cards. So you can do, again, depends on the card, but the internal piece is the important bit for reversed cards. Nisa's asking, is it okay to take longer on the modules or do they need to be completed in the assigned times? Does certification have to be done in May? Yes, it does. So here's the thing. With Master the Tarot Card Meanings, you have between now and the end of January to complete that program. That is, what are we today? Like October 20. That's, almost 3.5 months to do something that probably, that can be done easily in 7 weeks. So the reason we have deadlines for something like the certification program is because we want to help you keep on track and stay focused. I've had a chat with a number of people who say, you know what, I was a bit resistant to those deadlines at the start, but it's what helped me just keep going. Because had it just been, not definite about when you had to complete things, then they might have just lost focus and not followed through with their commitments. And this program is really about taking things seriously as a reader. And so we're here to support you in that and hold you to account for those deadlines as well. Now, of course, we're not complete like meanies. We do give a little bit of flexibility, but we strongly encourage you to stick to those deadlines and commit to them. Do you have to complete certification in May? Generally, yes. If you miss it though, then you will have one more opportunity to reapply the next time we do all of the certification applications. So that would mean later in 2018. So if you're willing to wait that long, then okay, but we'd strongly encourage you to do it within the window that we've specified. Okay. Kathy says, what if the reading is positive and the outcome card is the worst? Okay, yeah, so you've got a really good reading, maybe it's a relationship reading, everything's beautiful, and then you get the Tower as the outcome. Oh man, it really depends on what's going on in the reading. Sometimes things think about life, things can be going along just swimmingly and then there's a spanner in the works and something changes dramatically. Maybe when you might have focused on the relationship, but it's actually something in the home life or work that's going to then have this impact on the relationship. And so what you might be seeing in the outcome is the effect of something else that's now impacting the relationship. It's very hard to tell without having specific cards and questions and so on in front of me. But I just want you to know that we've got to be flexible. Nothing is ever wholly good or wholly bad. There's always I always think even when you're just riding high and everything's going well, you've got to be aware that things are in a constant state of change. Things could change at any moment. Just as when you're in a really, bad position and everything feels like it's going the wrong way, everything will change. So I hope that helps, Kathy. Let me see. Melody says, like if the other cards show that things are going well. Oh, could a Tower card, reading my mind, Melody. Could Tower card represent inner turmoil and disarray? Yes, if it was reversed. I often see the Tower reversed as like inner, like almost like an inner crisis point that leads to a breakthrough. You know, like oftentimes when you're going through a very strong spiritual transformation, you're just breaking down all your structures that you thought were all in the right place, and then something new is coming out from it. Anyway, a bit sidetracked there. Steph says, how can I approach general readings? I find them intimidating. Thank you. Yes, I used to as well. So what I typically do if someone says, hey, I just want to have a general reading, you're like, great, what's been on your mind lately? You're just like subtly trying to get a specific question. So I do try and encourage them first to give you something a little bit more specific. And you might want to explain, you know what, I want to help you, and the way that I can best help you is if we have something to focus on. So maybe, you know, what's been on your mind lately, what's sort of been bothering you, or so on. If they're like, oh, nothing, I'm just interested in what's going on, then you could even just draw, you know, what I've done in the past is I've gone, okay, fine, let's let tarot tell us what's going on. And I'll just start to draw out maybe 2 cards or 3 cards, and I tell the story of those 2 or 3 cards and go, okay, so what's this relating to? Where does the tarot want us to focus? And, you know, maybe it might be like the Chariot and the 8 of Pentacles. You're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of energy here around being really focused and dedicated on developing skills. What's going on for you around that area? And then they might go, oh, well, I was considering the certification program and I wasn't sure whether to go ahead with it. You're like, well, I think the answer's quite clear. Anyway, you know what I mean. So that can help too. Or the other one is just do like 1 card for relationships, 1 card for career, 1 card for well-being or something. Sort of break down the different areas of their life and draw a card for each. Let me see, Ben saying, I really love this Q&A session. Will you be able to do more in the future? I'll be doing them every month inside of the certification program. And really, like, this is what these monthly group calls are like with me. So you just fire away asking your questions and I answer them. And there's a recording of it, so you can always get access to that. So that's the certification program. And also inside the community, I often do Q&As as part of our masterclasses. And that's also a great way to get your questions answered. So I hope that helps, Ben. I hope I see you in the certification program. All right, let me see. Courtney's saying, what about spirit cards? What are spirit cards? I know there's like the animal, I know like Wild Unknown have done their animal spirit cards. Is that what you mean, Courtney? You let me know. Beautiful. Jay says, oh, when should I use spirit cards? Okay, anytime you ask, should, like, when should I do this, or should I like shuffle my deck or someone else shuffle it? There's no rules in tarot. The only rule is just do no harm. But otherwise, you can do whatever you like. So using spirit cards, have a play. Like, figure out, do you like using them for a whole reading? Do you like using them as a daily card? What is it that you enjoy doing with your spirit card? So it's completely up to you. Now, Jay's saying, if we're doing a relationship reading and the partner card is the Magician, does that mean that the relationship can be referring to our own gifts? I would interpret that as the partner is probably more of like the manifestor in the relationship, and so yeah, I kind of am leaning into a little bit more about what their role is in the relationship, if that makes sense. And it'd be so interesting to see then, like, well, what's your card? Because then what is the dynamic between those 2 people? I think that's when things get interesting, and how are they like interacting with each other? So you might have, say, the Fool and the Magician, right? So the Magician's a lot more grounded and like just gets on with things, whereas the Fool's like, oh, I could go do this, I could do that, and then sort of a bit fancy free. And then the Magician's like, yeah, okay, which one are we going to do? And how are we going to do it? Like, let's just get on with it. Yes, awesome. So I hope that's helpful. Now, again, if you're here with me right now and you're still thinking about the certification program, I want you to know we still do have a couple more spots available for the bonus masterclass. And if you sign up for the certification program very soon, you'll get access to that bonus masterclass. And just so you are very aware, this early bird special will apply until October 24th, and that's US Pacific time. And after that, the price will go back up to $12.97. And then the doors close for good on October 31 US Pacific time as well. So you really want to get your skates on if you feel called to do something more with tarot and you know that there is just so much more waiting for you. So I really want to make sure that's, open and available to you. Awesome. I'm just seeing Suzette saying, I've been wanting to take the Biddy Tarot certification program since last fall. I finally became a member of the community in March, started doing readings on the FTR platform in August, and finally decided this was my time and enrolled in the certification 2 days ago. Yes, way to go, Suzette. I love it. Beautiful. Fabulous. Okay, what else have we got in here? Oh, Patricia says, can we sign up for the free readings for strangers without enrolling in the program? So if you want to do these free readings, then the way to do that is to become a member of our Biddy Tarot community. Now, the doors are officially closed for the community right now, but I recommend that you sign up for the wait list and we will let you know as soon as the doors open again. And that way you jump inside the community. So not only do you get the free tarot readings, you're also getting all of that, the masterclasses, the training support, the forums, all sorts of things. Now, sorry, when I say training, I need to be very specific and say that it does not include the Master the Tarot Card Meanings program or Read Tarot with Confidence, but it does include our masterclasses and a Tarot 101 mini course as well. Awesome. That's cute. Camille's like, your English is slang. I'm French. Sorry, but I don't understand. I'm sorry, Camille. I know. I imagine if I was trying to watch something in French, I would have a lot of problems too. Yes. Need a translator. Yes. Let me see. Okay. Ada's saying this has been very helpful. Thank you so very much. I'm so glad. Beautiful. Let me see. I'm just going to check in if we've got any other questions that I might have missed. Laura's asking, what's the accreditation about? Okay, so you might have heard me talk about the certification program being internationally accredited by the International Institute of Complementary Therapies. And you're like, wow, what is all of that? So here's what we did a couple of years back now, is that we have submitted all of our course materials to the IICT. And what they do is they review and assess our programs to make sure that what we're offering is of a high standard and that it's credible and that, you know, we support our students, we have a solid teaching framework and so on. And if you're successful, then they accredit you. So what it means for you as a student of Biddy Tarot is that you know that these programs are held to a very high standard. So, you know, I know that anybody and her tarot cards can set up a course online and go, hey, over here, I'm doing certification. If you want to, like, I'll send you a certificate. We are completely different. So here's what's really different about Biddy Tarot and our certification. We are accredited, that's for sure. We have 15 people on our team. We're not one of those like fly by night, one person team where, you know, you send off an email saying, can you help me? And then maybe 2 weeks later, you might get a response if you're lucky. We literally have 2 people working day and night on our help desk here ready to support you. And you'll probably find we've got Kirsty on help desk right now. If you send her an email, you'll probably get a response within like 3 minutes. That's not like, she doesn't always go 3 minutes. But what I mean is, like, we are here to support you. And if you ever run into any troubles, we will absolutely help you on that path. There's no kind of like going off into the ether, because we're here. We're definitely here. And, you know, the other things that make Biddy Tarot really different is like we've done these training classes so many times. And like I said in the training, you know, over 1,500 students have been part of our training programs. So this is totally legitimate. It's totally credible. We have such a good, solid reputation in the tarot industry as well. Search on Google, find a tarot card meaning, there's Biddy Tarot at the top. So you know that you're in good hands. So I just want to make sure that's very clear. All right, let me see. So Courtney's saying, how should I cleanse my cards? Oh, I had a really good, post for that. I'm going to just drop it in. Oh no, not that one. It's not the one I wanted to drop in. Let me just see if I've got it here. Okay, blog post coming into the chat. So that is, I don't know if that'll come through. Hopefully it does. I've just dropped in the blog post for how to cleanse your cards. So many different ways, put it under the full moon, shuffle. I just basically shuffle them or just hold them. I even just like holding them and, bringing a lot of grounded energy into them. Kerry is saying, do you do daily personal readings? My cousin and I do. We compare notes with each other on our personal readings. I personally find it very helpful to get another person's insight. Yeah, so when I'm spiritually disciplined, yes, I'm doing my daily cards. I don't actually do them every day, but when I really want to kind of check in, then I do start to do them a bit more regularly. And it's probably more often that I do it where, like, if I'm a bit unsure about something, or my energy is a little bit frazzled, I'll draw a tarot card and check in where I'm at. Now, actually, you brought up this idea, Kerry, of, having someone that you can share your cards with. So inside of the community, again, which is part of certification, you have the opportunity to be assigned a study buddy, which means, every month, we invite you to say, okay, if you want to have a study buddy, let us know. And we manually assign you to another study buddy who might be a great fit for you. And then what you can do is you can jump on Skype anytime. You just agree it together. And then on this Skype call, you can read tarot for each other. You can talk about your experiences. You can be pen pals, whatever you want to be, right? Because it means you have this beautiful one-to-one support with another tarot colleague. And who knows, you might create a wonderful friendship out of it. There's lots of possibility there. All right, fabulous. Oh, cool. Kathy says you're an awesome teacher, communicator, communicator.com. That's cute. I look forward to a time when I can commit to the certificate. Beautiful. Thank you, Kathy. And Kimberly's saying you're all doing such great work. Thank you so much for all that you do. Appreciate it. Thank you. Virginia says, do you have many people that are on the pension or in their 60s doing the course? Do you know what? It's actually so lovely to see a number of people, 60 plus, 70 years old, like learning tarot for the first time, or maybe not even really for the first time. Oftentimes they might have received a tarot deck in their 20s and just gone, oh yeah, that was fun, and then put it away. And now they're coming into kind of like what I believe are like the wise years of, 60 plus, is when you finally you're not in creation mode anymore. You're in like wisdom mode. And what a perfect time to let tarot come into your life when you're looking at, using your wisdom and connecting to your wisdom and sharing that wisdom with others. I think it's fabulous. Nisa's asking, what's the cost of the two classes if taken separately? I'm just looking for more ammo when I pitch the total investment to the hubby. So if you want to take Master the Tarot Card Meanings on its own, it's $297. It's the same for Read Tarot with Confidence. That's also $297. Then also think about certification. You're getting those two programs, but you're also getting 6 monthly live calls with me, which is like huge value. You are getting access to the community for 7 months. And inside the community, you're getting access to like literally, I think we've got 15, maybe 20 recorded masterclasses now, plus the free readings in there, plus the forums. Like that's insane value to begin with. What else are we including? Getting the 3 ebooks, our 3 tarot guides. Plus you're getting that certification. You get a gorgeous certificate in the mail. Like it's amazing, huge value. And if you're thinking about like, okay, I've got to get my partner to say yes to this? How do I position it to them? So there's a number of ways to do that. One, from a purely financial perspective, if you take this certification, you are well placed to actually generate an income from your tarot readings. And so it might be, $1,000 investment now, but as I said in the training, that's only 10 $100 readings and you've already paid for the training. Now, if you do the monthly payment plan at $179 per month for 6 months, then that's like 2 readings a month. Like, it's easy. And if you're not reading yet professionally, then I have a very good feeling by the end of this program, you'll be ready to read professionally. So that's from a financial perspective. But here's the thing, when you're doing the tarot program, you're also creating this great opportunity for personal development and personal growth. And so your partner's going to have a happier version of you. So I hope that is helpful. Let me see. Pallavi says, so what do you suggest, the certification or grow your tarot business online? Okay, it really depends where you're at. With certification, you'll be focused a lot more on building your tarot reading skills. So if you feel like you need to hone your skills a little bit further and, really get good at knowing how to create that valuable experience for your clients, then certification is probably the best bet. If, however, you're like, you know what, I've got all that down pat, I want to focus solely on my business, then Grow Your Tarot Business Online is a great fit. So Grow Your Tarot Business Online really does not cover specific tarot reading skills. It covers business skills for growing your tarot business. I hope that's really clear. Let me see. Courtney says, a psychic I've known for a while told me I was one of her students. Does that mean I have abilities that I'm not quite aware of yet? Well, here's the thing. I believe we're all intuitive, and it's whether we want to open ourselves up to that or not, completely up to you. And so what this psychic might be saying is that, you just as everybody else has this ability to connect intuitively. So your choice, do you want to really open up to that and connect to it? Why not? Let me see. Diane's saying, thank you. Even though you haven't answered my question. Oh, have you asked a question? Please ask it again and I will. The one you just answered about age and experience has given me more confidence to maybe attend this course as I'm 69. Yes. I'm not there yet, but when I've really looked at just that whole life cycle and what happens when you step into, the 60 plus phase, it's a time to really connect with your wisdom. And I've just got chills thinking about it. Tarot just connects you to that inner wisdom just in such a beautiful way. And, you might feel inspired to simply use the tarot cards for yourself and to connect with that wisdom. And it doesn't have to be about I need certification so I can set up a business. It doesn't have to be that at all. This, again, is about personal growth, personal development, and, opening up that intuitive pathway to make it a possibility. And Diane, if you do have another question, let me know, because I haven't got it coming through here yet. And I'd be more than happy to answer it, unless I've missed it somewhere else. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, Suzette saying, I'm 50 and very soon, and I've never thought of tarot up until a year ago and felt a very strong need and pull towards it. Yeah, I notice when I've been out and about and meeting people, there's a lot of people sort of in their 20s, 20s and early 30s who are like, yes, just found it. I love it. I can make sense of life now. Thank God. And then there's another whole category, sort of 50s, 60s, who go, yeah, well, I'm kind of over all this just traditional, 9-to-5 work stuff. And now I found the tarot and now I feel completely different about my life. And why didn't I find this earlier? Right? Completely different. Well, Laura's adding, we had an 84-year-old woman last cast. Did we? Oh my God. That's awesome. That's fabulous. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, let me just check in. Melody says, do you have any tips for balancing your chakras? My root and third eye are all out of whack and it's affecting the rest of them. There are many different ways. I used to have this really nice, it was a whole chakra balancing visualization from Deepak Chopra. can't remember what it's called. Have a look, like Deepak Chopra chakra balancing meditation, right? And it was great. And I love his voice. It's so deep and like, I love it. So that's an option. But, things like, root chakra is just that really like grounding yourself and really imagining it as that sort of big ball of energy, that sort of dark red energy, and it almost like feeding down into the earth, and then the earth energy feeding back up into you and letting that just cycle and run through. And even to imagine another big ball like sitting within the earth that you're connecting your energy to. And third eye, just really imagine like sort of that indigo, like just opening it and just giving it all that beautiful energy and juju. So that can certainly help. Crystals are a great way. I often listen to like theta frequency binaural beats, and that can be really helpful for opening up different parts of yourself as well. So hope that helps, Melody. Beautiful. All right. Okay, now I am just checking in if we've got any more questions. Now I'm going to wrap things up. I've got to wrap things up in the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes. So let's say that this is your last opportunity to ask any questions before we close out today's training. And before we do that, I just want to remind you, we still have places available for the bonus masterclass. So we would love for you to be part of certification and take that step forward to being a trusted tarot advisor. No matter where you are in your life, no matter if you're like 20 or 80, doesn't really matter. It's all about connecting with the cards intuitively and then having a big impact on the world around you. And even just your inner world is fabulous too. Beautiful. So I'm just going to check back in the chat. Okay. Oh, gosh. I think that one's going a bit funny. My chat's going a bit funny. All right, Kerry says, silly question, never a silly question. Will you ever provide a scholarship program for the certification course that you offer? I'm sorry, but no, we don't offer scholarships. With certification, it's a huge investment of energy and time. And I often find that, if we do something sort of free, we're not actually fully invested in it. And that's why we're not offering the scholarship program. Now, I know you could probably argue and say that you've done something free and you've put everything into it and it was amazing. But in the past, we've had those experiences where we've offered like a couple of free places, but we don't see the follow through, to be really honest. So I really believe like this is about making a commitment to yourself, and sometimes that means making a financial commitment as well. So yeah, sorry, Kerry. Stars is asking, what tips do you have for developing and or discovering your intuition? So that's what the whole bonus masterclass is all about. If you sign up for the certification program, you'll get access to that. I'm going to give you one really quick, simple tip, and that is to meditate every day. You might be like, oh, that's so boring. Come on, isn't there something a bit more fancy that we can do? But seriously, meditating is practicing like how you can clear your mind. And it's so important that we have a clear mind to allow our intuition to really flow through. So just a simple practice of 5 or 10 minutes a day where you are actively just clearing any thoughts that are coming through, just clear and clear and clear. And then you start to develop this beautiful skill of clearing out all of that crap so you can then just focus on letting everything come through intuitively. And so you can get that deeper connection with your subconscious mind as well. All right. Nisa says, I hate to be the money nerd. No, it's good. But does one have to pay a lump sum to qualify for the masterclass, or does the payment plan qualify? If you sign up using the payment plan today, yes, you'll get access to the masterclass so long as you are one of the first 20 to sign up. So Nisa, if you sign up right now with the monthly payment plan, you will also get access to that bonus masterclass. All right. Courtney says, what about saging for clearing and cleansing a deck? Absolutely. My husband was up in the other house with the sage smudge stick. can't speak anymore. And he was like madly saging and came downstairs. I'm like, oh, it's like you've been smoking something. And he's like, of course I have, but it's been sage. So yes, you can do that. Long story, yes. And it's good, just wave it over the deck, but also wave it over you. Like, this is about clearing your energy as well as you start to use the tarot cards. I think I'm almost done. I almost don't have any more words left. Fabulous. All right. Oh, how funny. I think my chat's gone a little bit backwards. I'm not sure. Let me just see. Oh, it did. Okay, good. Beautiful. Okay, yep, a few of you are using the sage stick. Yes, it's fabulous, definitely. Awesome. Okay, last chance for any questions. I'm here for you. And of course, if there's anything that I've missed today, or you think of something a bit later, please email us at team@biddytarot.com. Kirsty, Julie, Laura, and sometimes myself are in there ready to help you out and receive your questions and answer your questions, of course. Fabulous. Well, again, I want to say a big thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate, for sticking here. Like, we're almost like 2 hours now. It's fabulous. So thank you. And I really hope that today has been valuable to you, whether the training has kind of just changed your thoughts a little bit, or maybe the Q&A has also helped you and supported you on your journey. So thank you so much, and I do hope to see you inside of the certification program. So make sure you sign up before October 24 to take advantage of the early bird pricing. All right, have an awesome day, evening, whatever it might be in your neck of the woods, and I'm sure we'll see you again very soon. All right, bye for now.